It's let's keep it real with ANTM. Let's go. Real talk, raw facts. We don't move slow. She cut through the drama like a blade to the noise. Southern Belle with the truth. Don't play with the voice. Ay, let's keep it real with ANTM. Let's go. Real talk, raw facts. We don't move slow. She cut through the drama like a blade to the noise. Southern Belle with the truth. Don't play with the voice. We talk fake friends, side dudes, heartbreak too. Baby mamas, baby daddies, nothing off the menu. She ain't scared to speak it, now she built for the flame. Say your name without say your name, if it's smoke, it's the same. Energy loud, tea stay hot. Truth hit different when it land on the spot. So fix your face, don't flinch, don't scam. It's the queen of real talk, yeah, that's ANTM. Let's keep it real with ANTM. Let's go, real talk, raw facts. We don't move slow. She cut through the drama like a blade to the noise. Southern Belle with the truth, don't play with the voice. Ay, let's keep it real with ANTM. Let's go, real talk, raw facts. We don't move slow. She cut through the drama like a blade to the noise. Southern Belle with the truth, don't play with the voice.
Hey everybody, let me go ahead and read my copyright disclaimer under the copyright disclaimer under the section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research of fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Hello everybody, come on in. We're gonna have a good topic, y'all. This is going to be a real good topic. I think I forgot. Oh, no, I didn't. This is going to be a real good topic. As y'all know, I have my child, Coco, and she's right here with me. And she's going to be a little disturbing because her brother won't take her and put her to sleep. She's very sleepy, and I will be trying to put her to sleep as we do this. So what's up, Bree? What's up, Terry? David, he said he got a bone to pick with you, Terry. So if you're in the building, come on out. What's up, Bree? What's up, Kiara? What's up, Cree? What's up, y'all? Come on in. Let's talk about it. What's up, Terry? Let's talk about it, y'all. So, by show of hands, who all watched the Netflix documentary of America's Next Top Model with Tyra Banks? Who all remember that? Did y'all watch it? And were y'all a big fan of it? Because I watched season 1 till I probably checked out about season 10 or 11. I'm really not for sure which one it was. What's up, Ashley? What's up, Michelle, girl? I'm feeling better. But did y'all watch the show? If so, like, they're trending right now because of the Netflix documentary that came on. And y'all, let me tell y'all, okay? So we're going to have an uncomfortable conversation. Hey, Sadie, welcome. We're going to have an uncomfortable conversation, y'all. Because for years, a lot of us watched American Next Top Model like it was harmless entertainment. We laughed, we quoted, and we defended it. But after watching a new documentary, I had to ask myself something. Was that mentorship that Tyra was doing? Was it manipulation? Was it tough love? Like, what was it? Was it humiliation packaged as empowerment? Sadie said she watched a few seasons. Okay. Hey, Q. And more importantly, why does it feel like Tyra Banks refuses to take accountability, y'all? Tyra Banks refused to take accountability, okay? She refused to do it. So we're going to break down the gaslighting, the fake tears, the public shaming, the psychological tactics. We're going to revisit something people forgot too. The way she treated Corinne Stefani, also known as Superhead, y'all. Who remembers Superhead? She came on Tyra Banks' talk show. Remember when Tyra Banks had a talk show? She came on there, y'all. Now, after looking at oh God, Coco is pressing so much stuff. Coco, come on. Lay down, baby. Lay down. Me too. I used to love watching it too. Let me see. So after looking at, I went back and I looked at Superhead on Tyra Banks' show, and the questions that she was asking her was humiliation to me. So now looking at all of this, y'all, I'm like, Tyra may be evil, y'all. She tried to say misunderstood, but I didn't get that. Okay, y'all, I did not get it. So Tyra, she presented herself on the documentary. And if you didn't watch it, and if you have Netflix, please go watch it. Okay. She presented herself. She positioned herself, as misunderstood. She framed criticism as being sensitive, body language and analysis, defensiveness, over explaining. Okay. She just didn't show any type of accountability to me. Okay. Did she say I was wrong, or did she say that was a different time? To me, she never said she was wrong. She never took accountability. If you watch the show, or the documentary, do you feel like she took accountability? If you watched it, do you feel like that? Let me know. So we're going to look at something right quick. Let's go ahead and get into it. Let's look at this. Stop, Coco. Wait a minute. Hold up. Let me get this down.
We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
I haven't really said much, but now it's time.
A new Netflix docuseries, Reality Check, Inside America's Next Top Model, includes shocking allegations.
I realized Tyra would do anything for the success of her show.
I knew I went too far.
About one of the most popular reality TV shows ever.
That was a moment where I realized, oh my God, I think we've built a monster.
There's a lot that happened. I wish that it had been handled differently. I wish that it had been dealt with in a different light.
Hello, lady.
With more than 300 contestants in all across 24 seasons, America's Next Top Model helped define the early aughts of reality TV before it ended in 2018.
We've grown up loving and watching one of our favorite shows of all time.
I started rewatching America's Next Top Model season 1, and I could not believe the things that came out of those people's mouths.
In the past few years, a different generation of fans binging the show with new eyes. The show becoming a poster child for how quickly society's views can shift.
Now there's a twist. We are actually going to switch your ethnicities. Kenya, Korean. Noel, we're making you into a traditionally African woman with a head wrap and everything.
It really is incredible how different things were 20 years ago.
I didn't think too much into it.
I didn't think anything about it either.
Welcome back to another episode of Why America's Next Top Model is the most toxic show of its decade.
The most unattractive thing in the world to me is a quitter.
This show is literally why I experienced eating disorders growing up.
But the show pushing back, saying it was in line with reality show TV and was a reflection of the modeling industry of the time.
Looking at that show through the lens of today, it's like, whoa, why did you do that? Why did you do that? Hey, Tyra said, yeah, she made and she did some, she said some, and I thank you for that.
Supermodel Tyra Banks, the reality show's co-creator and host, called out by some on social media for her comments in the docuseries.
She's disconnected, she's condescending, she's not taking any responsibility.
Tyra Banks, the only thing you brought to this documentary was you and this trench coat, okay? No accountability whatsoever.
America's Next Top Model is...
Yeah, they are true.
Season 1 winner Adrian Curry, who didn't participate in the Netflix series, on X didn't mince words.
She is
Good
not
morning,
sorry.
Ramona.
She is not apologizing to you. That is not effing sorry.
There were some real stories on, in the documentary that I didn't know the full picture of.
Nigel Barker was
Next Top Model. They actually kept me quite separate from the behind the scenes action in that world at that time. It didn't seem the same way as it does now when we look back at it and go, that's not right, wouldn't have done that, shouldn't have done that, couldn't have done that, how did I do that? As everyone always says, hindsight is 2020, and it is.
In 2003, we did not have the word woke. We didn't really have that language, and so we weren't able to sort of pinpoint the problems inherent in the series in the way that we are now.
One of the doc's most shocking scenes involves Cycle 2 contestant Shandy Sullivan while filming on location in Italy in bed with one of the male models.
Contractually, they had signed away the rights, and that everything could be filmed. If two people walked into a room at any time, the cameras were allowed to follow. That means the bathroom, the bedroom, the shower, anything.
Tyra and Top Model executive producer Ken Mock reacting to that incident in the docuseries.
It's a little difficult for me to talk about production because that's not my territory.
Okay, so this was cycle 2, meaning season 2. The young lady, they went out of the country to do their shoot. I can't remember where. And they thought that it would be good to have some guys a part of the photo shoot with them. So after the photo shoot, they all partied. They went into the jacuzzi. They did all of that or whatever. So with the guys, y'all, they were drinking and everything. So the young lady, she had a boyfriend. She worked at Walgreens. She had a boyfriend. She left her home at 18. She left her parents at 18, moved in with her boyfriend, yada, yada, yada. So during this photo shoot, afterwards, there was guys there. So it was this one particular guy. Her and the guy was flirting. And I remember this scene. They were flirting, y'all, and they went to go take a shower together, and they had intimate sex, whatever. And she cheated on her boyfriend, and when she woke up the next morning, she said everything was a blur or whatever, and it was filmed. Everything was filmed. So even with her and him getting in the shower, the cameras was constantly rolling and everything was filmed. Now, mind y'all, I told y'all she had a boyfriend. So y'all already know the rest. So here it goes.
Have a sense of hey, we need to turn the cameras off.
Hey, Ashley.
We treated Top Model as a documentary. And we told the girls that on day 1, when they would show up, we would go over the rules with them. There's going to be cameras with you 24/7.
We reached out to both Tyra Banks and Ken Mock for additional comment on the Netflix series, and we didn't hear back.
It was also the dawn of reality television, where you followed every piece of it, the heartbreak, the difficulties, and all the problems.
I spoke with Top Model judge Janice Dickinson in 2023 when Nightline re-examined the show 20 years after it debuted. Dickinson, famous for her brutally blunt assessments.
I'm detecting a little bit of attitude from you.
Zip it. Zip it. You're dead in my book.
I think the next America's Top Model is not a plus size model. I'm sorry.
I don't think I was cruel at all. 100%.
I was very cruel.
Correct.
So you stand by everything you said.
I do. If I hurt anyone's feelings, and even the viewers' feelings for watching something like this take place, then I apologize for that, because I'm not in the business to hurt anyone or make enemies or make people feel bad. That's not who I am as a person.
Winning America's Next Top Model was sold as a golden ticket into the fashion industry, into the modeling world. That didn't always pan out.
It's a reality show. Hello.
Really? So that's the bottom line. It was not about making the next Top Model.
No, it's a reality show, and they had to come up with snappy episodics to fill in the time.
Another infamous moment from Top Model, Tyra telling one contestant, Danny Evans, that her tooth gap wasn't marketable.
This is all people say.
Oh,
I've actually apologized for the issue.
Apologize. Okay. Somebody just said something I was gonna say. Sadie, I did not like Janice Dickinson at all, y'all. I did not like her. Her attitude was so nasty. Her and Bruce Jenner look alike. I'm with you when you're right, David. Hey, Spicy. Okay, so y'all, the girl that's finna come on, I did not like Tyra's response, because the girl that's finna come on, she had a gap, and the girl was very she wasn't like I was with my gap. Okay, I was very insecure with my gap and everything, but she wasn't. She actually liked it, her gap. They had her feeling her gap. She did not want to do it, but in order for her to stay, they told her it's either close up the gap or be kicked off the show. And so she closed up her gap, and she had a lot to say during the documentary. She was one of the ones that was in the documentary, y'all. So Pammy is driving, y'all, but she is speaking to everybody at once. I'm telling y'all, if y'all missed this, If y'all missed this, hey Haley, if y'all missed the documentary, please go watch it. The only thing that I did not like about that documentary was Tyra's attitude, how she did her friends, how she did the contestants, and it was 24 cycles or seasons, y'all could say, of American Next Top Model, and this was only a three-part series. And I think, how did y'all, out of 24, it was on for 20 years. How did y'all get, she said in the wig, Ashley, I'm weak. How did y'all get only 3 parts out of 20 years, y'all? American Next Top Model, Haley, it's on Netflix. Y'all, it's good. If y'all did not watch it, please watch it. I watched it, I think last week. I fell asleep, woke back up, turned it back on. Like I had to keep doing it because when something is good, I always fall asleep. Yes, the girl with the gap, that pissed me off, y'all, but let's get into it. Let's get back to it. I'm getting excited because, Tyra wrong.
With Danny and what happened, that was between a rock and a hard place for me, because there were agents that would tell me she will not work with those teeth. It's just not going to happen.
But some former contestants told me they knew what they were getting into.
Watching it back, it didn't age well.
No. And that's why it is such a big thing now, because people watch back and you're like, oh my gosh, like how as a society were we here? And it wasn't that long ago. What was it like at the time when that happened? Girl, I mean, you know, it's reality TV, but we all had to fit a certain characters.
America's Next Top Model was a cultural moment.
Who never watched? I used to love it, y'all. I used to love it. Do y'all hear me? I watched Top Model from the beginning to the top to the end. Tyra treated them like crap. Man, then you gonna love this documentary, okay? You gonna fucking love it. When I tell y'all, I used to watch that show, y'all. Me, Lexus, my mom, and Ashley. This was what we did. I think it came on Wednesday nights. We look forward to looking at America's Next Top Model. Matter of fact, I gotta tell my mom it's on the documentary is on Netflix, and my mom loves Tyra Banks, and I'm gonna be like, girl, your girl ain't right. I gotta tell her all of that. We used to watch it faithfully. Me, Lexus, my mama, and Ashley. My brother and my dad, they'll be doing their own thing, and we'll be watching that. And I mean, it went on for years, y'all. We were hooked on it. No lie. Like we had shows that we would watch with my mom, or my mom put us on, and we'll watch it. Like we'll watch Girlfriends together, all of that. So this just brings back so many memories of when we were all together in the house. The stuff that I miss. So I'm getting excited.
We took young girls who had no
And my mama hated Janice Dickerson, and she do look like Bruce Jenner.
opportunity to be seen in the fashion industry. And shone a
Yes,
spotlight
I
on
was
them.
hooked.
And we did all we could to help them with that Cinderella story of transformation. And that's something too, which was really magical.
Our thanks to Janae. For our look back on this, watch Impact by Nightline, America's Next Top Model 20 years later, now streaming on Hulu.
Oh, so it's streaming on Hulu too, y'all. It's streaming on Hulu too. So, okay, so y'all, what she said, I used to trip off the bus steps trying to trying to get home from school to binge watch. Girl, what? Loved it. Well, she allowed the other girl to make her gap bigger. Oh, speaking of that, Sadie. Yes, she did. She wanted to, it was a white girl who she wanted to have her, let me see this phone. She wanted to have the white girl, she wanted the white girl to get her gap. Well, I don't even think she had a gap. She wanted to create a gap. And I'm like, okay, so this not making sense. You made Danny close up her gap, but then a few seasons down, I think maybe 2 seasons down, she made the white girl open up a gap. And I'm like, this not like she just like that was just nasty, y'all. Like how she acted and treated these people now, when you go back and you look at this stuff, you'll be like, what the fuck? She even treated her friends wrong. Y'all remember the black guy? Hey, Candy. Y'all remember the black guy, what was the black guy's name? What's his name? Jay, the one that helped show Tyra how to walk. Him, the black guy with the long hair. What's his name? Jay. He had a stroke in 2022. Tyra did not come see him. Tyra have not talked to him since they split from the show. Yes, Miss J. He had a stroke back in 2022. He wasn't walking or anything. Tyra didn't even check on him, y'all. Tyra did not. And to this day, she's still like, she sent some flowers. She sent some, or did she send some flowers? No, for 1 year for his birthday. And then 5 days later, they got cut from the show. But anyway, she have not came and seen him. He wasn't even able to walk up until recently. He can stand up now. He was halfway paralyzed. Miss J, yes. All right, so we're getting ready to look at the one with the scene with the girl having sex and stuff. We're going to look at that had sex and had a boyfriend and stuff. We're going to look at that. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
Camera. And a 20-year wound in pop culture has been ripped open by the new Netflix doc Reality Check Inside America's Next Top Model. People are realizing that the most dramatic moment of their childhood wasn't just entertainment. It was potentially a crime caught on camera. And while fans are demanding accountability, the show's creator Tyra Banks and show developer Ken Mock are allegedly doing something even more shocking than the scandal.
Lonely?
At the center of the storm is Shandy Sullivan. For 2 decades, we were told she was a cheater. But now Shandy is finally telling Rolling Stone the truth. The now 43-year-old who signed with Trump model management after the show recalls a night in Milan where she was blackout drunk, exhausted, and allegedly filmed by producers while a man took advantage of her.
But my boyfriend's not here. What am I going to do?
Shandy states, quote, "Even thinking about it now makes me want to cry. And I mean, it's 20 years later." And now the show's defending itself by saying the cast knew the show was filmed like a documentary. And to understand why this is a massive cultural pivot, you have to realize that from 2003 to 2018, America's Next Top Model wasn't just a show. It was a global star-making factory. Because the show didn't just find models, it launched icons. Take Winnie Harlow, who appeared on Cycle 21.
Hello.
Hey, Winnie. Your Amazon collection just arrived.
The model, formerly known as Chantel Brown Young, went from the house to the global stage, becoming the definitive voice for vitiligo, a chronic condition that causes the skin to lose its pigment, resulting in distinct white patches, and walking for powerhouses like Victoria's Secret. Although in 2018, Harlow reportedly told E! News the show did nothing for her career.
Some of it is just
Then there's Leo Tipton from Cycle 11, who announced they were queer and non-binary in June 2021. They parlayed a third-place finish into a massive Hollywood career, starring in cult classics like Crazy Stupid Love and Warm Bodies. Cycle 3's Eva Marcille was the winner who proved there was life after the runway.
Whatever God has for you, whatever he's birthing in you, baby, it is not the timetable of others. This is your life designed by God for you and you alone.
She became a mainstay in acting, starring in shows like All the Queen's Men and becoming a legendary peach holder on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. And finally, Niall DeMarco, the show's first deaf winner, who didn't just break barriers in Cycle 22, he shattered them, became a powerhouse activist and high fashion icon who famously walked for Giorgio Armani in 2017. And while models like Shandy Sullivan are now recounting their traumatized experiences, DeMarco told People magazine in 2024 that ANTM was, quote, an incredible opportunity and a major platform for my career. But while models like Niall saw opportunity, others saw a nightmare. To understand the gravity of Shandy's claim, you have to look at how the 2004 episode was produced.
I just couldn't control myself. Like, I really couldn't. He was there, and I had all this tension and...
Back then, it was framed as the ultimate betrayal. After a night of heavy drinking, the cameras followed Shandy, who had a boyfriend, while she made out with a guy in a hot tub and continued some action in the bedroom.
kill me. This is the worst possible thing I can do.
But now Shandy told Rolling Stone, if you see somebody that's blackout drunk and you see a guy messing with her, you could have just stepped in and called it a wrap. And as if things couldn't get any worse, Shandy allegedly was refused a phone call to her family unless she agreed to have her, quote, confession to her boyfriend filmed. Meaning the trauma we tuned in to watch wasn't a mistake. It was the business model.
Oh, God. In like the next minute or so, I could completely lose like everything.
And beyond the individual stars, America's Next Top Model refined the blueprint for the reality TV machine we have today. Starting in 2003, the show didn't just break boundaries. It set a dangerous new standard for how far production could go to capture the truth.
That you embrace.
And while shows like American Idol and The Bachelor were just beginning, Tyra supercharged the archetypes that started it all.
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you.
Her judges panel turned critiquing into a high fashion performance, a direct precursor to the high cam judging on RuPaul's Drag Race. Her dramatic photo call took the elimination ritual of The Bachelor to a psychological extreme.
And these photos represent the young ladies that are still in the running towards becoming America's Next Top Model.
Influencing every rose ceremony and sachet away that followed. Then there was the tie-over that turned physical transformations into a mandatory mid-season tentpole. A trope now baked into everything from The Voice to Queer Eye. But most importantly, ANTM perfected the villain edit. That show mastered using the confessional booth to turn real people into characters. And Shandy Sullivan was one of the first major victims of the machine.
Feeling extreme guilt about the fact that she's cheated on her boyfriend, Eric.
Because while the show framed the incident as a cheating scandal in 2004, we now know what was happening behind the scenes in Milan was far more calculated. For Shandy, America's Next Top Model was her ticket out of Walgreens in Kansas City. But by the Final Four, that dream had become a pressure cooker. And now Shandy recalls a perfect storm of exhaustion, a lack of food, and heavy alcohol provided by the production team, and describes what was supposed to be a night to chill and relax, quickly turning into a nightmare.
The winner is going to come and spend a great whole evening with me at my villa.
Shandy admits she blacked out in the hot tub, and her only remaining memories are flashes of being pulled off of a shower floor and a man having intercourse with her. So for 20 years, Shandy carried the weight of that night, explaining, my whole feeling for a long, long time was, quote, I did this, I let this happen to me. Continuing, but there were people there watching the whole time. Someone should have said, we need to put the cameras down and just go get her.
After everything, like, I just want to go home.
But instead of an intervention, Shandy says production facilitated the trauma for ratings. And when she woke up horrified and still intoxicated, the cameras were already there to capture every tear. And that betrayal continued back in the States.
I talked to Shandy. I'm going to roll a little clip that a lot of us remember.
Shandy revealed the producers ignored her explicit boundaries during the reunion, airing the clip of her lowest moment just minutes after she begged them not to. And to Shandy, that was the moment she realized they didn't respect her. They only cared about the show. So how did the architect...
Oh, so speaking of that, y'all. So she went on they did a reunion on Tyra Banks' show, y'all. And I don't know how many girls it was, but Shandy was on there, and they talked about what happened on the show and asked her, was her and her boyfriend still together? She said no, they just couldn't take it because wherever she would go, people would notice her from the show and say, you don't want to cheat on your boyfriend, call her a slut, whatever. So she told her she didn't want her to play that scene. Tyra still played the scene despite of her saying she did not want her to play the scene on her, when they all appeared on her show. So the whole time she played the scene, Shandy looked down. So after Tyra got done playing the scene on the show, she said, I noticed, Shandy, that you were looking down the whole time. She was like, yeah, because she couldn't, basically couldn't look at it, whatever. And I'm like, so she was like, does that bother you? Like, what? She asked you not to do it and you still did it. Like, y'all don't care. Literally, when you go into Hollywood, y'all, you got to sign your life away. They can do what you are their property and they can do whatever. Okay, whatever. And they like the backlash stuff because that's where the money come from.
of the blueprint defend these choices? Well, in the 2026 docuseries Reality Check, executive producer Ken Mock stands by the footage. He frames the show not as a competition, but as a gritty documentary explaining, "We told the girls there would be cameras 24/7. They were going to cover everything, the good, the bad, and everything in between." Mock claims they even, quote, scaled back the scene in a significant way, possibly an attempt to frame the production as merciful.
Oh my God, I think we built a monster.
And Tyra, when confronted with reality that night, her response was much more distant. Banks effectively brushed off the allegations, deferring to the production department by stating, "It's a little difficult for me to talk about production because that's not my territory." As for the relationship that became national news, Shandy and her boyfriend Eric didn't survive the fallout of the show. While they tried to make it work initially, the cheating narrative and the trauma of having their private pain broadcast to millions proved too much. Reports state the pair broke up shortly after the season finished, leaving Shandy to carry the villain label alone for 20 years. The trauma, however, hasn't fully faded. Shandy told Rolling Stone, "My body still feels that trauma. My skin crawls when I talk about it." But she isn't bitter about the career loss. In fact, she told reporters she's relieved her life no longer depends on her ability to smize for a panel. Shandy may have never got her apology, but in 2026, it looks like she's finally purging the shame, reclaiming a narrative the top model machine tried to write for her.
I haven't really said much, but now it's time.
But what do you think of Tyra's "not my territory" excuse? Share your thoughts and follow what's trending for more pop.
Tyra was full of shit. That she was evil, y'all. Now we're gonna look at what she said to Danny when it came to that gap.
Gap closed. Do you really think you can have a cover girl contract with the gap in your mouth?
Yeah, why not?
This is all people see. Easy Reads Beautiful cover girl. It's not marketable.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Did y'all hear what she just said? Let's rewind it.
So Danielle, you went to the dentist, but you refused to have your gap closed. Do you really think you can have a cover girl contract with the gap in your mouth?
Yeah, why?
Stop it. Okay, so y'all heard what she said. Do you really think that you can have a career with a gap in your mouth? And she was like, yeah, mind y'all, Danny is very pretty, y'all. She's very pretty. And she was like, yeah, why not? And she basically just tried to kill her confidence. Now, y'all, I want y'all to think back. Do y'all not remember when Tyra Banks was acting like she was so scared of Naomi Campbell? She said Naomi Campbell bullied her. She said Naomi Campbell was a mean girl. Who remember her? Who remember the strange relationship between Naomi Campbell and Tyra Banks? Who remember it? Because she acted like she was just so petrified of Tyra Banks. Of Naomi Campbell. She said she was so mean to her. She was a bully to her when she became a model. Who remember that? So she's giving out Naomi Campbell vibes on this show. Now let's finish getting back into it.
Why not?
This is all people see. Easy Reads Beautiful cover girl. It's not marketable.
Yeah, just a little bit is okay, but I don't want to completely close it.
Well, I guess she just left the gap wide open for another girl, baby.
I agree.
I wanted to close my gap. Nah, bruh. Super cool. I'm super secure in my gap. Of course, like any other kid. I'd be lying to you if I said I grew up loving my long neck, my jawbone, and my gap. I did not. I hated it all. I used to cry and ask my mother for braces. We couldn't afford braces. What did my mother say to me? She reminded me that my two grandmothers, who I absolutely adored, had gaps. They're queens. You're just like your grandmothers. You know what? I learned to accept and love my gap. So the top model, when they wanted to close it, I was like, nah, fam, I'm good. Cut to, we're now in elimination. So I go for it. Tyra's like, why didn't you get your gap closed? I'm like, huh? She's like, I told you to get your gap closed. I'm like, no, you didn't. She looks off camera right to production, which none of you guys ever see. I look off stage, camera right to production. Kim Mott gives me one of these. In that moment, I knew what was happening. I knew that I was basically set up and not being told that Tyra wants me to get my gap closed so that it's good for TV, right? So in that moment, the 19, 20-year-old Danielle stood there realizing that it was my one-way ticket out on this side or keeping my gap on this side and going back to Little Rock, Arkansas? What do you think I'm gonna choose, fam? So Tyra says to me, if I send you back to the dentist, will you get your gap closed?
Hey,
Then I
bro.
leave her with another question. So what you're saying to me is, if I tell you no, then you're gonna send me home tonight. Me and Tyra went and did that whole fiasco about 2 or 3 times. What you guys saw, none of that on TV. What you saw is me coming up with a compromise saying that I'm okay with you closing it some of the way, but not all of the way. Let me explain something to you. The family that I come from, a family of hustlers, a family of go-getters.
Mm-hmm. Mm. She's something else, y'all. She's something else. She definitely did not address it. It was something else I was about to show y'all what she, because she did, but I can't remember what she said. Oh God. But anyway, so she was, also y'all, she used to always, Tyra Banks, y'all, she got picked with by Naomi Campbell and others because her forehead was so big. They told her she couldn't be no model because her forehead was big. She got picked about her forehead. So how she was done in the industry, she displayed it. They give mean girl energy when you're trying to get to where you need to get. So everything that was done to her, she did to these girls, right? She didn't like the feeling, but she picked up on it. She did it and everything. And that was evil of her to do those girls like that when she know how she felt when it was done to her. So let's get into her and Tiffany fight.
Imagine being able to build a nap with your name on it just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Somebody's back. Hey, I'm back. I'm Tiffany. I'm from Miami, Florida, and I'm 21 years old. Last time I came here, I tried out. I didn't get in. The last time I was here, I knew I had to be changing my life. I don't jump on people and throw glasses and stuff like that anymore.
Go on, cry, baby. Go on, cry.
Why are you tearing I'm strong because I was thinking I was laying in the bed and I'm like, I'm laying in Beverly Hills again. And I sleep at home with my baby in a twin-size bed. I was just wishing my baby, my grandmother, I really wish she could see it because she ain't got no money. She, the last time I was here, they said that I needed 2 bathing suits. And she went and she brought me bathing suits. The day before I left, I was like, I'm like, well, you know, why the lights went off or whatever. She was like, cuz, girl, somebody ain't getting paid because you going. My grandmother let the lights go off, they buy me a bathing suit. I love her so much. I just want to show my son and my family as well that I can do better.
The last name that I'm going to call Tiffany.
Tiffany, yes!
Last season of America's Next Top Model, you didn't make it. And one thing that you said was,
it would have been a big change from hustling to be a glamour girl anyway.
And now you are a glamour girl. And I want to know what you feel when you look at that picture.
It's beautiful. It's okay. It's really hard always having to be tough, you know? When people see me on the street, it's always that girl that fights or that tough girl. And when I look, I could be beautiful and it feels great. It makes me feel good.
Hi.
Hey.
How you doing?
You know, I don't know. You know, I don't know. Yeah. I just feel like I don't really fit in here. I want to be a model. Lord knows I do. But sometimes I may not know what a certain word means, or like a lot of times we'll go out to eat and I'm just sitting there in the blue.
Like the menus might have things like foie gras and smoked salmon with creme fraiche. And you're like, what the heck is that?
Exactly.
Well, Tiffany, I was just like you. I didn't know what that stuff was when I first started modeling. It's okay to ask questions.
it's just a lot going
I know
on
it's
in
hard.
my body, and just being here and just thinking about home. I feel like I have nobody here.
But I think if you open your horizons, a lot of it is fear. You know, fear of something that's different. And I bet some of these girls have a similar experience to you. So now it's time for your individual evaluations. We're gonna send you on a mock special assignment. You're gonna be a special guest host for ANTM TV.
Hi, I'm Tiffany. It's Fashion Week in Paris.
But she talked about it.
And Technicolor is the name of the game. I can't do this.
Yes, you can. Keep going.
I can't.
Why?
Breathe and go through it.
Just try to go through it.
Tiffany, the other girls did not know these words. They goofed the words. Go through it. Just have fun with it. Use your personality. Be you. You want to go home? If you don't do this, you're going to go home.
Hi, I'm Tiffany. It's Fashion Week in Paris. I can't do this.
Yes, you can. Keep going.
Can't.
Why? If you don't do this, you're going to go home. Tiffany, the other girls did not know these words.
Magenta? Chart. Tree?
Who cares? They're just words. Have fun.
Hi, I'm Tiffany here with ANTM TV. It's Fashion Week in Paris. Can you say magnetic?
Just keep going.
Charismatic, solid gold, and shocking pink. Wow, tipsy top models. Oh my God, this is hard. Okay, tipsy top models, Tiffany Pena, and some other girls hanging with Tyra herself. Back to you, Tyra. Oh my God. This is humiliating. More and more each week.
You had a defeatist attitude when you walked out. You said, every week it just gets worse and worse.
This is humiliating. More and more each week. I said every week I humiliate myself weekly. I know what I said.
Hang on. I'm not done. You look great, but with that attitude miss thing,
I can't sit here and say, do it.
But she was right. Every week is humiliating to them. Like, what? And then Janet's attitude,
Do you want to go home? You have to hear that inside of your head, because in the real world, people are going to be like next and not care. Tiffany, you stand before me because everybody wants this more than you. Your grandmother wants this so badly for you. Sometimes when our lives are so hard and so difficult, and something that is so fantastic comes about, sometimes we feel like we're not worth it. And if you don't feel you're worth it, and none of these people behind me, and I won't feel like you're worth it. We think maybe you might need a little bit more time to look in that mirror, find some self-esteem, and start loving yourself. This is a really difficult decision tonight. It put me in a very difficult place tonight. Both of you will pack your bags and return to the loft. Thank you.
Cheer up, waterhead. Looking all sad. Come on. Come on. Oh, girl, you gotta stop. Break me like that.
Can you guys stand in front of me? I just want to say one more thing too. Tiffany, I'm extremely disappointed in you. This is a joke to you. You've been through anger management. You've been through your grandmother getting her lights turned off to buy you a swimsuit for this competition. And you go over there and you joke.
Then she goes and throw it back up in her face. Y'all see that? Do y'all not see the manipulation? She throws it back up in her face. Why does Tyra have to do that?
You laugh. This is serious to these girls. And this should be serious to you.
Looks can be deceiving. I'm hurt. I am. But I can't change it, Tyra. I've been...
Yes, you can.
No,
You can't change what?
I'm sick of crying about stuff that I cannot change. I'm sick of being disappointed. I'm sick of all of it. I'm not.
You're sick of being disappointed,
Yes,
Tiffany.
obviously I am.
No, you're not. If you were sick of being disappointed, you would stand up and you would take control of your destiny. Do you know that you had a possibility to win? Do you know that all of America is rooting for you? Do you know that? And then you come in here and you treat this like a joke? You come in here and look at that and say, I can't read that. You read 10 times better than half of those girls over there.
You did. You did.
And you come in here with a defeatist attitude.
I don't have a bad attitude. Maybe I am angry inside. I've been through stuff, so I'm angry.
Yes,
Everybody-
but this is not, be
Okay,
quiet,
but
Tiffany.
everybody
Be
knows
quiet.
That's what is
I'm
wrong
not
with
trying
you.
to,
But you're not.
Stop it! I have never in my life, how dare you learn something from this? You go to bed at night, you lay there and you take responsibility for yourself because nobody's going to take responsibility for you. You roll in your eyes and you act like this because you've heard it all before. You've heard it all before. You don't know where the hell I come from. You have no idea what I've been through. But I'm not a victim. I grow from it and I learn. Take responsibility for yourself.
Yes, they were mean. Nigel was nice. Yes, he was. Janice Dickerson was mean too. However, Tyra shitted on her own friends on the show, and they talk about it as well.
Tyra. She was right. The only thing that's keeping me here was my grandma and my child. And I tried to hang in there for my grandma. My grandma just wants the best for me. Part of me did give up. I was being very disrespectful, but I'm taking a lot home with me. Tyra really did care about me, her yelling at me. I have the utmost respect for her. Because she could have easily said, okay, whatever, and, bye. That showed me that she saw deeply into me, and she cared about me. And that's cool knowing that, Tyra cares about you. I'm going to go back home and have a good life now and be the best Tiffany I can be.
Girl, bye. Girl, bye. So let's see what they
So
say
I don't know if
about-
Miss Banks thought that agreeing to do this documentary with Netflix and appear in this documentary, girl, was going to really be the gag of the century. But the way y'all are eating her up, it seems like maybe she.
That's exactly what she did to Tiffany. Tiffany opened up and told her that, her struggles and what her grandma did to get her there, just for her to throw it back up in her face. Can you explain why, Lola, she was mean to Superhead on her show? Like, she was very negative to her. This ain't got nothing to do with Nigel's, Miss J, none of them. Janice, none of them. It was Tyra. Tyra treated them women like she said Naomi Campbell treated her.
Maybe she should have stayed out of it, girl. But Tiffany Richardson, the woman, y'all know, she was the one getting screamed at by Tyra. I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. She ended up responding on Instagram, calling Tyra a liar, saying you're lying. You was a bully. Let's get into it.
Y'all know who I am. Y'all know who I am. Adrienne, I be in the cut. I sizzle with your man. Don't be mad at me because he recognized the brands. Don't be mad at me.
So today we're going to learn the mantra of the royal guards in the kingdom of Emberland. So it goes Judukala Kusis, Jidukala Nekroksi, Jedukala Salawa, which means by the seal we stand, with the seal we die. Through the seal, we are reborn. And by the seal, they mean the seal of equilibrium. And of course, the seal of equilibrium is the magical emblem that marks whoever is the god, king, or queen of Emberland at the time. If you want to check out my Black Queer Epic Fantasy series, make sure you go to Zeraxia.com. The first 2 ebooks/audiobooks are out now, and I'm working on the third one as we speak.
All right. So apparently during the documentary, this Tyra Banks documentary, when they finally got to the moment where they're like, all right, so what happened with this? We were all rooting for you moment where you screamed at Tiffany. Like what was going on? And so, the judges first commented saying, "Oh, that was one of the scariest moments on set, and Tyra never went off like that, so it was really, it was crazy on set." And when it got to Tyra ended on the documentary, looking back at it, talking about it, Tyra ended up saying, she did say, "Oh, I went too far." But she was just like, "Oh, it's just that black girl stuff that's in me, and I was looking at her, and people say that black girls aren't good enough, and I just really felt it in that moment." And then so Tiffany, obviously, she must have seen that BS response from Tyra on the show. On this documentary, and went to Instagram, and she said this. This is what she said. This is what she said. "Hold up." And then she added Tyra Banks. "Let's keep it cute. You are one line at a time." You one line at a time. Like, you know how you treated me the whole time off and on camera. You was a bully. You treated me like S and said the nastiest things about me and my son. That is not how the argument went, but y'all edited to make it look like you cared. Also, F the Shade Room, F your weird fans, and F you, Tyra. I bet you won't sit down with me face to face and talk about it. Also, F my family too. Y'all don't ever defend me. I got more money and helping more people than all or many of the top models. But that's the update y'all give. Shame. It's giving y'all still hate on Lil Black me. Tyra Banks, just let it go. It's been over 20 years. She dragged it as she should. No shade, like, girl, she dragged it. But the thing is, Tiffany has been saying this since forever. Tiffany has not changed. You know what I mean? What she's been saying. In 2017, let's go back, girl. Article, of course, will be linked in my description. But in 2017, they were talking about Tiffany photos would be displayed on a giant screen for everyone to see, and her critiques would be said for everyone to hear. By the time everyone received their feedback, the women had been standing for hours. Sometimes they would need to take a break, eat, and then come back in for more critiques. So Tiffany said we'd get picked apart for like 15, 20 minutes each. If you say something back, you're going to be up there for a minute. And sometimes they'd be going at it, like roasting the F out of us back to back to back.
Wow.
Tiffany said her issue wasn't exactly with the harshness of the critiques. It was more, she felt like they weren't at all constructive. It's like, basically, if you're going in on me, then you need to help me. She said she only felt like she was getting ridiculed week to week. She said the argument, we were rooting for you, we're all rooting for you argument was 1,000 times worse in reality. And like, to really sit and think that Tiffany was hesitant apparently to elaborate in this 27 interview because it was just so nasty, I guess, the things that she was saying. But one of the things that she remembers Tyra saying apparently was Tyra yelling at Tiffany saying, "You can go back to your house and sleep on your mattress on the floor with your baby," in front of the other judges, contestants, and crew members. Richardson wouldn't reveal further information about what may have been edited out of Banks' tirade, but that particular comment, she said, stayed in the back of my mind. I think this is another contestant here, Rebecca Epley, didn't remember the entire wrath of Tyra, but she did say that it seemed like Tyra Banks went above and beyond to break Tiffany down.
Wow.
She said it was definitely harsh, almost like Tyra wanted her to be devastated when she got eliminated. And when Tiffany was not acting that way, it's like she just lost it. There was a lot more.
And that's what it seems like to me, that Tiffany was joking. Tiffany was already ready to go home. She was sick of it. She couldn't take all that they were doing. Some people is not built for that, y'all. And what you do in Hollywood is, the thing for you to be able to get accepted in Hollywood and stuff is take the manipulation, the gaslighting, the dragging you, the talking about you. You got to be able to take it. If you can't take it, then you got to leave. And they call it as constructive criticism when you don't have to be that mean. I'm sorry. That is what it's called. And then here's what Nigel had to say about the Tiffany I was rooting for you deal. Ooh, thank you, Lexi. Thank you, girl. You watching it now? Ooh. Hold on. I thought I was sharing something with y'all.
They're a team.
The show goes into some of these judges' tables and how sometimes they be rather tough.
She looks pudgy.
So then it's silly, and you go back home and you do what? Work at Burger King?
Look at that. What you do? Work at Burger King?
I made fun of them, and I was just doing my thing.
You were not known as the hard or the tough judge necessarily, but were you guys ever given directive to be tough or to be edgy?
No, part of Tyra's genius really was putting together a team of people who could be very much themselves. If you pick people on reality television who have their own personality and they can be real in front of the camera, then that authenticity in the fact that they're not performing, that they're actually just being themselves, reads really well. So if you can cast crazy characters who will be outrageous, flamboyant, over the top, they fit that niche.
You need to be able to slinky ink down the runway. If you can't slinky ink, you may look stinky stink.
And I, luckily, fit the niche of being perhaps the straight white male, right? Or the constructive criticism and perhaps the level head. And I would sometimes look back and look to my side and go, oh my goodness, what's actually happening right now?
Look at this waist. You have the smallest waist in the world.
What, you want to go to the
There's something about her that I like.
The most famous, iconic moment of the entire series is Tyra screaming, saying,
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
Tyra really scared all of us. Like, we literally jumped out of our seats. What is happening right now?
And what is going through your mind when this is happening? Did you have any idea she was going to blow up?
No, we had no idea at all. None. I mean, it clearly showed that
all
she was
were
on edge.
leaning away,
Just
but
to
they got
explode
that
in that
karma.
manner,
And I'm talking about,
unexpectedly, on camera.
girl, you don't leave me alone.
And I don't think it was deliberate. I don't think she had planned it. I think she literally exploded. Now, Tyra really, really cared about every aspect of the show. And I think it truly bothered her so much that there was clearly, she had a sort of snap.
Be quiet. I have never in my life yelled at a girl like this.
I just wanted to change this woman's life. I felt like she could have been a supermodel.
I actually thought they were going to stop it. If you're going to go off the rails, we're going to allow it, and we're going to film it, and we're going to put it on TV.
Let's talk about the photo shoots. Some of those came under fire. For a photo shoot that made you uncomfortable seeing the photos at the time.
I think there were several photo shoots that I judged or saw or heard of that made me feel uncomfortable. I thought were ridiculous. I thought were perhaps not a great idea. And even some of the language that was used. But, you know, when you're in a cast of people who are of color, when you are in a cast of people who are women and your boss is a woman, sometimes there's an element of trust even that they perhaps might know better than you about whether this is appropriate way to speak to a woman or whether it's appropriate to speak to someone of color. But that being said, even then, I thought to myself, well, I wouldn't say that. Or why did you say that? Or why are we doing this?
It looks like you're taking a nap. You needed to look like you're brutally killed.
I take full responsibility for that shit. That was a mistake.
Tyra in the docs uses the excuse that it was a different time back then.
Hindsight is 20/20 for all of us, and I did the best that I could at that time.
But is that an excuse?
When you think about,
look at her. She's making up excuses. Lolita, she's making up excuses.
The time element, there is a big piece of that because it was 20 years ago. You know, when you have to look back, and I even look back at what I was wearing on the show 20 years ago, and I'm thinking I would never wear that again. So to look back with hindsight is certainly easier to judge and be critical. That being said, were there things that perhaps, you know, she got carried away or the production got carried away? I would say yes, because it's very easy to critique it on all the things that went wrong. But there were a lot of things that went right, and you know, including Trinity win, you know, and we had contestants like Takara. They represented sort of full-figured ladies, and people said, "Oh, they're not going to work. There's no work for them." And we're like, "No, there should be, and there is, and there will be." Yes. You know, and if we hadn't made some of those decisions and made it mainstream, you know, that might not have happened too. So that's something that, you know, we have to look at the good and the bad, perhaps, with these things.
Whitney is a great example of who went on to have incredible success, and she was the first plus-size winner. Danielle, she spoke about her time after winning America's Next Top Model, and she said,
I had no idea how hard it would be. Those cameras shut down on Top Model and they just threw me to the wolves.
How much support was given to these contestants afterwards? Were they being set up for success?
In any reality television show, including, The Voice, for example, or, America's Got Talent, anything like that, if you win, yes, you get the prize, you get the fame and all the rest of it, but it's still up to the individual to understand how to take that opportunity in that moment and make the most of it. It's not as easy as it always sounds. Photography clients who didn't want to work with me because they thought I had sold out or was too commercial. There has always been a stigma attached to being a reality television. I know that affected several of the contestants. And what you'll see is that, as is often the case, people who come sort of in the top 3 or 4 often may do better than the winner. However, we've had plenty of winners as well, who like Ava, who's gone on to do incredible things.
And I notice how they can Ava is the only one that they can give a good update about her name is Eva. Give a good update about for real. Even Yaya, she been in different movies on Lifetime. She was in Ruben Stutter's video and stuff, but they don't even really have nice stuff to say about her neither. And I don't think she has nice stuff to say about them. But Eva was one of the ones that, that's the only person that they really can refer to, okay? And yes, they were all bullies. I get that, except for Nigel. I get that. But everybody don't look at the judges. They look at Tyra. Tyra is the one that said Naomi Campbell was a bully and used to be bullying her. She had Mean Girl, just for her to turn around and do all this. That's why I say in the industry, that's how you gotta be, is what I'm gathering.
We're gonna take one.
In the doc, Tyra speaks about the challenges and controversies, but she essentially blames the viewers.
Kept pushing and we kept creating more and more and more. You guys were demanding it. The viewers wanted more and more and more.
Whether it's a fair assessment or not, it is an assessment. I've seen it online where a lot of people are like, that's ridiculous that Tyra would say that. I was only 12 or I was only 14. Exactly. I'm like, yes, but your mother who watched it with you wasn't. Right. And so this show was not designed for 12-year-olds. It was designed for people who could actually buy things, because all shows are designed for people who can actually buy things and who pay for the bill. Right. So it just happens that kids also like to watch it. But the kids are the ones who are now responding. However, I do think that regardless of whether someone asks for something or wants it, again, acting as an adult that's responsible, you also say no to certain things, even when they want it. Yeah. Right? Mom and Dad, we say no.
Tyra says she says she is open to being criticized for the show, but everything in the doc implies otherwise.
It's a little difficult for me to talk about production because that's not my territory. I'm not head of story, that's Ken Mock. I didn't think it was controversial. I was in my own little bubble, in my own little head.
Do you believe her?
With criticism, you have to understand where you are. You have to, if you don't think you've done anything wrong, then you're not going to say sorry, are you? So there has to be some sort of contrition and belief in it to come around. Otherwise, this may be her answer. This is how she feels. And so therefore, take of it what you will. Things aren't always as black and white as they seem either. There's a lot of shades of gray. And even on a show like this, there's days and days of filming boiled down, and it's 18 seasons wrapped into 3 episodes. So, there's only so much you can do, even though they did a beautiful job with it, I've got to say.
I'm going to show you what beautiful is. Let's go. Let's do this. America's Next Top Model.
Girl, bad. Anyway, so as y'all see how she was, we're going to get into the last thing. And the last thing is how Tyra by herself, Lolita, treated Corinne Stefani, or Steffens, whatever her name is, Superhead. When she came on her show, she was a bully to her. When Superhead wrote that wrote that book about all the men that she slept in the industry. Remember that? Who all read that book? Because I did. It was a hot book. Everybody was buying it. And she came on a Tyra Banks show to talk about it, and Tyra was a damn bully. But Gwen stood her ground to the bully Tyra. Okay? Let's get into it.
No idea if these allegations are true or not. Now, this book is a cautionary tale. Who's this a cautionary tale to? Well, what's happening is that a lot of women have... We're back with the controversial author of Confessions of a Video Vixen, Corinne Steffens. Now, the views expressed in her book are not mine, and I want to make this very clear, that I have no idea if these allegations are true or not. Now, this book is a cautionary tale. Who's this a cautionary tale to? Well, what's happening is that a lot of women have unrealistic views of this part of the industry. You have a lot of young girls who want to, at a very early age, just be video girls, and they think that that's modeling. I get emails on my website, which I have been getting for over the last 2 years, of people asking me, how do they get into this? I want to be a model. So how do I get into the next yin yang video? Or, and I have to explain them that's not modeling, and I've never been a model, and that's not what it is, and that's not how it happens. They're actually changing their minds about what they thought the industry was like, thinking that nothing bad ever happens, and life is essentially like a video, and it's just not. Well, it depends on the choices that you make. Well, it depends on the choices that you make, but a lot of us, unfortunately, are being ill-informed. A lot of us are just aren't being told. I wish that I had, people around me. I wish that I had a family base. A lot of women do have, and they have a family, and they have friends, and people who care, and they're educated better than I was. But many women and young girls aren't as educated as we should be. Well, I want to take some questions from the audience.
I'd like to know, based on the subject matter and the content of the book, why would you dedicate a book like this to your son?
Because this is my life story, and this is a subject matter not just of my book, but of my life. And my son went through a lot of this with me. When I slept in the car, he was the only person in the car with me. But you put your son, and you dedicated your book to the son, which means it opens it up to his school, because his name is in the book. His first name's in the book. A lot of children are named Naeem. Yeah, but you pick him up at school, and you look just like this. Okay, so and all the parents are I'm in the PTA.
Look at Tyra, being a bully. And she said, look, I'm in a PTA.
I feel that people expect me to be ashamed. And all my life, I've been expected to be ashamed of who I am. And I'm not. And I think that it bothers a lot of people that I'm not ashamed. And a lot of us spend our lives being ashamed of who we are and what we've done, and are afraid to share that with our children. It doesn't bother me that you're not ashamed. I admire the fact that you're not ashamed. I think what bothers me is that I think you are a very smart woman. You're very articulate. And we're back.
Ooh, look at her. Hold on. I ain't done. Hold on.
Views expressed in her book are not mine, and I want to make this very clear, that I have no idea if these allegations are true or not. Now, this book is a cautionary tale. Who's this a cautionary tale to? Well, what's happening is that a lot of women have unrealistic views of this part of not what it is, and that's not how it happens. They're actually changing their minds about women do have, and they have a family, and they have friends, and people who care, and they're educated. But
why would you dedicate a book like this to your son?
Up at school, and you look just like this. Okay, so and all the parents are knowing me. I'm in the PTA. I feel that people expect me to be ashamed, and all my life I've been expected.
Yep, that's what Tyra expect for her to be ashamed. So she paid for her to come on her show just to down her about what she did. I don't get it. What was that for? She just want to be a mean girl. Y'all can say what y'all want to say.
To be ashamed of who I am, and I'm not. And I think that it bothers a lot of people that I'm not ashamed. And a lot of us spend our lives being ashamed of who we are and what we've done, and are afraid to share that with our children. It doesn't bother me that you're not ashamed. I admire the fact that you're not ashamed. I think what bothers me is that I think you are a very smart woman. You're very articulate. And I think you do know exactly what you did. And you knew that naming names would be the thing that makes the press, because you were attracted to that. You're attracted to names. You're attracted to celebrity. And I think you do understand that naming these names means that this is going to get attention. Okay. And I want you to be honest and sit here and be honest with me. Well, you know what? I just wrote the book, and my publisher made that decision. Initially, the book had no names in it, and there are a lot of things that have been taken out. But the publisher can only make the decision. The publisher made the decision, and I agreed with it because I felt that it was the truth and it was actual. I didn't hide anything in that book. You hid a lot. Well, I mean, of all the things that were written, I didn't hide names. And
now you can't tell me she wasn't nasty to this girl. You can't look at her trying to catch up in a lie or something.
Places. dates to protect people. This isn't a book about protection. It's a book about honesty and confessions, both on my side and hopefully on theirs.
How mad were you at those rappers that didn't support you?
Not
during your
mad
time
at all
with them?
because I went back to them. It wasn't like they said no to me and then I was like, oh, that's it. I'm out of here. I'm going to write a book. It was okay. I went back. They gave me more money. I hung out. I still took the trips. I still did all of that. And then I left because I knew.
Not every single one of these guys.
Every single one of
Not
these guys.
every single one. You didn't go back to every single one of them.
Well, the ones that had the most money, the ones that were flying me around, because I was homeless at the time. I was homeless at the time. And I had to find a way to get back on my feet. So in the back of my head, I know, okay, you don't care about me. So when I told you I was getting evicted, you said, whatever. So now I said, hey, everything's fine. Well, yeah, that was just, that was a bad week. I'm fine now. Okay, here you go, more money. I knew that if I wasn't the party girl anymore, then they wouldn't take care of me.
Corinne Steffens, thank you for being here. And thank you for being honest. You're dying inside, aren't you? I haven't been the hardest on you. I've seen your interviews and there have been people that are super duper duper hard on you. This was actually a walk in the park.
Maybe I just wasn't in the mood for it today. I'm moody.
You're moody?
Yeah.
Well, you came on and hopefully you're on a better step to get your life in the right direction.
Absolutely.
Well, I be damned. So you gonna tell me what she said wasn't? Did y'all not hear that? Did y'all not? This Tyra Banks is a bully. I'm gonna have to title this "Bully Tyra." Tyra Banks is a goddamn bully. Y'all can say Lolita in here popping her shit, but she's a bully. She's a goddamn bully. Hold on. Let's see. I wonder if Superhead gonna come out about that interview. Let's see. I don't think I was done. Let me see. Did we hear this? No, I ain't too sensitive. Have you seen a Barbara Walters interview? Hold on. Okay, so hold on. Let me go to this. Hold on. Let's see. Not you a bully. I'm talking about Tyra, girl.
But you know that people call you a bitch. Yeah?
Saying, you're not going to have your spot. We're going to take your money. We're going to take your fame.
Naomi Campbell was the lone black supermodel who broke the fashion mold and reached the very top. Then, a 17-year-old named Tyra Banks stormed into Paris and everything changed. What followed became fashion's most infamous rivalry. Two women who should have been allies, but instead were pushed into a war that left one of them in tears, calling her mother from Paris, ready to quit. And the wildest part? This wasn't just about egos. It was about an unwritten rule. The industry acted like there could only be one black supermodel at a time. While Cindy Crawford and Claudia Schiffer rose together and shared covers, Naomi and Tyra were told to fight for a single seat. Backstage clashes, shows Tyra says she was cut from, agencies forced to take sides, and words that would echo for decades. This is how fashion took two brilliant women and turned them into enemies.
And the press had cast Naomi and I as rivals before we had even met each other.
How a system built on beauty created something ugly, and how Naomi and Tyra eventually exposed the truth.
There was an unwritten rule that only one of them could be black. Only one.
By 1987, Naomi Campbell had done what no black model had achieved in decades. British Vogue hadn't featured a black woman on its cover since 1966, until Naomi. French Vogue had never put a black model on its cover, until Naomi. Yves Saint Laurent himself had to threaten to pull advertising from French Vogue to make it happen. She wasn't just breaking barriers, she was demolishing them with a sledgehammer wearing 6-inch heels. The fashion world treated Naomi's success as if it were some kind of radical experiment. When Anna Wintour put Campbell on the all-important September 1989 issue of Vogue, she later recalled that the men in suits were absolutely stunned, a measure of how tokenized black representation still was at that level. 1 black supermodel was revolutionary. 2 would be unthinkable. That was the rule nobody said out loud, but everyone understood. By 1990, Interview magazine crowned Naomi the reigning mega model of them all. She walked for Chanel, Versace, Dior, every house that mattered. But here's what the glamour shots didn't show. Naomi stood alone at the top. While Christy Turlington, Linda Evangelista, and Claudia Schiffer could all be superstars together, Naomi occupied the single spot the industry had allocated for a black model. Then, in 1991, a teenager from Los Angeles landed in Paris with big dreams and an even bigger walk. Tyra Banks was 17, fresh-faced, and about to book 25 shows in her first Paris Fashion Week, a record that made everyone pay attention. The fashion press had found their story before Tyra even unpacked her suitcase. They called her the next Naomi. Those 3 words would destroy everything. The media machine kicked into overdrive by 1992. Every article, every backstage whisper, every casting director's comment followed the same script. Look out, Naomi Campbell, here comes Tyra Banks. Nobody wrote, look out, Christy, here comes Kate Moss. Nobody said, watch your back, Claudia. But for the 2 black women breaking into fashion's highest ranks, the narrative was clear. This town wasn't big enough for both of them. Tyra genuinely worshipped Naomi. She'd studied Campbell's walk, memorized her magazine covers, dreamed of following in her footsteps. In 1992, they even shot together for Vogue. 2 black models in the same spread, a rarity worth documenting. Tyra thought she'd found a mentor, maybe even a friend. The first cracks showed backstage during Fashion Week. Tyra later recalled how the air seemed to change whenever Naomi walked into the room. The woman she idolized would look straight through her. Then came a confrontation that Banks says she never forgot. According to Tyra, Naomi approached her at a show and told her, "You'll never be me." Campbell, years later, said she didn't remember ever saying those words. But for the teenager who'd once dreamed of a mentor, the sting was unforgettable. The fashion world loves its legends, and this moment became an instant piece of mythology. Naomi would later claim she doesn't remember saying it. Tyra would spend over a decade unable to forget it. What matters isn't who remembered correctly. What matters is that an 18-year-old girl who idolized someone was made.
So Naomi did to her what she did to these girls that wanted to be models. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all she did, Lolita. That's it. That's all she did. So it's a lot more that happened. If you hadn't watched the documentary, you need to. It's on Netflix. Go ahead and watch it. Okay. You'll see how Tyra did not take any type of accountability. And if you want to say the judges, yeah, so y'all need to watch it, okay? Now that's all ANTM have for today. I don't know if I'll be back. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be back or what. But how she did, what's her name? Superhead is how she did those girls. Is Takara doing well? Girl, bye, Lolita. That apology, she ain't mean it. Nah. Is Takara, that's the one I ain't seen in a long time. What's she doing now? Anybody tell me what she's doing now? All right, while somebody's telling me that, let me thank my people that gave me my super chats. Thank you, Candy Kisses, for that super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you, Amelia, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you, Alexis. Thank you, Alexis. Thank you, Alexis. Thank you, Tasha Touch, for that super chat. And thank you, Amelia, for that super chat, girl. Hey, Yolanda, I'm about to get off. You gotta catch the replay. I'm just messing with you, Amber. Oh, okay. I'm finna get off, Nando. I've been on here long enough. I may come back later. I'm not for sure. I got some things I need to do around the house, and I may come back to walk a bitch like a dog. Okay. All right, y'all. Bye.